What started as a geopolitical crisis has now escalated into one of the most dangerous conflicts of the 21st century. In 2026, the United States, backed by Israel, launched strikes on Iran, hitting military sites, missile facilities, and leadership targets. The Iranian response has been swift and widespread, triggering military, economic, and diplomatic shockwaves around the world. Hi, I'm Anshu Sharma, and today we are discussing US-Iran conflict, its history, power, and India's stakes. So, the story begins in 1979. Before that, Iran was a close ally of America. But after the Islamic Revolution in 1979, Iran became strongly anti-US. The American embassy in Tehran was seized, and trust between the two countries completely broke down. Since then, the US imposed economic sanctions on Iran. Iran accused America of interfering in its region. Both sides supported opposite groups in Middle Eastern conflicts. In 2015, there was some hope. Under President Obama, the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action, known as the Iran Nuclear Deal, was signed to limit Iran's nuclear program in exchange for sanction relief. In 2018, President Trump withdrew from the deal, reimposing sanctions under a maximum pressure strategy. Since then, Iran has gradually expanded uranium enrichment, increasing global concern, though it has not officially declared weaponization. In 2020, the US killed Iranian General Qasem Soleimani in a drone strike. Iran retaliated with missile attacks on US bases in Iraq. Since then, there have been repeated flashpoints: attacks on ships, strikes in Syria and Iraq, and rising tensions involving Israel. Geopolitically, Iran is competing for regional influence against US allies such as Israel and Gulf states. The Middle East today is shaped by proxy competition. Rather than direct war, both sides often engage indirectly through allied militias, cyber operations, economic sanctions, and targeted strikes. So, what's happening now? In 2026, tensions have risen again. From the US perspective, Iran represents three major concerns. Number one, nuclear capability. Number two, ballistic missile development. And number three, support for regional proxy groups across Iraq, Syria, Lebanon, and Yemen. Iran, on the other hand, views US military presence in the Middle East as encirclement. With American bases in the Gulf, Iraq, and surrounding regions, Iran sees Washington as a direct security threat. This is not just hostility, it is a classic security dilemma. Each side claims defensive actions, but the other interprets them as aggression. Now, what is the biggest danger? If fighting disrupts the Strait of Hormuz, a narrow strait route where a huge portion of the world's oil passes, if that route closes, oil prices rise globally. It can draw in other countries and destabilize the entire region. That's why the world watches carefully whenever tension rises. Now, where do China and Russia stand? China wants stability because it imports a lot of oil from the Middle East. It calls for peace and dialogue. Russia often opposes US actions and supports a multipolar world where America is not the only dominant power. Both countries are watching carefully and using diplomacy to protect their own interests. Now we should understand why this matters for India. For India, this conflict is not distant. It has direct economic and strategic consequences. Number one, oil security. India imports a large portion of its crude oil from the Middle East. Any instability in the Strait of Hormuz, through which nearly one-fifth of global oil passes, can raise fuel prices, which will add billions to India's import bill and increase inflation. It will impact India's trade balance. When tensions rise, oil markets react immediately, and India feels the pressure. Number 2. Strategic neutrality. India maintains strong ties with both the United States for defense, technology, and strategic partnerships, and Iran for energy security and connectivity projects like the Chabahar port. This forces India to practice careful strategic neutrality. India cannot afford to alienate Washington, but it also cannot ignore Tehran. So New Delhi typically calls for dialogue, de-escalation, and diplomacy rather than taking sides. Number 3. Diaspora and regional stability. Millions of Indians live and work in Gulf countries like UAE, Saudi Arabia, Qatar, and Kuwait. A regional war would threaten Indian workers, remittance flows, maritime trade routes. For India, stability in West Asia is not optional, but it is essential. For India, the priority remains clear: energy security, strategic balance, regional stability, diplomatic engagement. In geopolitics, sometimes the most powerful position is not choosing sides, but managing relationships with all. The US-Iran conflict is not just about two countries. It is about power, oil, global influence, and regional control. And in today's connected world, even a conflict far away can affect our economy, our fuel prices, and our national strategy. Thank you for watching, and please comment Iran-US peace so that there can be peace between Iran and US. Thank you.